Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful short story. It's one of those quiet, emotional reads that looks at family, sacrifice, and, the hidden costs of success. At its heart, the story asks this one really sharp question. What happens when the very success your family dreamed of for you actually ends up building a wall between you and them? That's the tension we're going to explore. All right, so let's meet our main character. He's at this major crossroads in his life, and it feels both totally familiar and deeply uncomfortable. So he's a government officer. He's just had 6 amazing months at home. He's a newlywed. And honestly, the absolute last thing he wants to do is leave all of that behind. But as the story points out, marriage brought on more responsibilities and more debt. So he's got to go back to work, reluctantly. And right off the bat, he hits a snag. A simple physical problem. He's got this one piece of luggage, a 20-kilo trunk, but no way to get it to the bus stop. You see, the roads aren't paved, they're these steep, hilly paths. And to make things even worse, it's planting season, so all the villagers who might have worked as porters, they're all busy out in the fields. But this quote, this is where we see the real problem. It's not the 20-kilo trunk. For a young man, that's doable. The real weight here is his pride. His education and his whole white-collar job identity have made him feel like manual labor is just beneath him. As he puts it, the idea of other people seeing him carry his own luggage was, and I quote, not at all amusing. So this logistical problem quickly turns into a deeply personal one when his father steps in with a solution that's both simple and really complicated. His father, seeing his sons in a tough spot, makes this incredibly selfless offer. He just says he'll carry the trunk himself all the way to the bus stop. Just like that. A father helping his son. But it's not that simple, is it? The son protests, but you have to listen to the reasons why. His first thought isn't about his father's age or the physical strain. No, it's all about appearances. What would people think? What would they say? His shame is all about how this is going to look to everybody else, not about the reality of his elderly father carrying this heavy load. And of course, his protests fail. And just like that, the journey to the bus stop begins. It's a walk that's just heavy with silence and all these unspoken feelings. The son describes the scene so vividly. His father, this old man, straining under the weight of the trunk, while he, the young, educated officer, just trails behind, carrying nothing but a tiny little bag. They walk up this narrow, hilly road in complete silence. And he knows this is wrong. Oh, he feels the guilt, he feels the shame, and he really wants to offer to take the trunk. But he is just completely paralyzed by his own pride. He can't bring himself to say the words. So what does he do instead of acting? He starts rationalizing. He tells himself this whole story to make it okay. Oh, my father's used to this kind of work. He's stronger. He's more skilled at this than I am. He even convinces himself that his father would actually be hurt to see his successful son doing manual labor. It's just a way for him to shift the blame and quiet his own conscience. And this brings us to the story's climax. After that long, silent walk, they finally get to the bus stop, and the son's carefully built-up reality just starts to crumble. So they make it to town and sit down in a little tea shop. The father looks exhausted. The son feels sorry for him, but still can't say a word. And in that quiet moment, as they're waiting for the bus, his father finally breaks the silence. And what he says is, it's just so simple, but it's absolutely devastating. The father asks for a pair of old shoes, not new ones, just old ones. Why? Because the road is full of pebbles and it hurts his feet to walk. And for the first time, the son actually looks down. He sees his father's bare feet, and he notices they are just covered in deep cracks, hardened from a lifetime of walking on rough roads without any shoes, a lifetime of hardship that the son had never, ever truly seen until that exact moment. The contrast is just stark. You've got the father feeling every single pebble on that painful road, and then the son, so comfortable in his sturdy hunting boots, he hadn't even registered that the road was uneven at all. That one detail perfectly captures the two completely different worlds they now live in. This moment of realization, it changes everything. It leads to this really poignant and symbolic ending to their journey together. The son, finally jolted into action, offers his father the very boots right off his feet. After a little protest, his father accepts, and his face just lights up with this look of pure contentment. It's a small act of care, a gesture of understanding that was missing for the entire journey. And then the bus arrives. The final image is just unforgettable. The son sits down in a luxurious seat, moving forward towards his future, while his father turns to walk back home on that same pebble-strewn road with weary legs. Their journeys, both literally and metaphorically, have split. They're heading in opposite direction. And it leaves us with a really heavy question to think about. The son was so worried about a 20-kilo trunk, but the real burden, the weight of sacrifice of a lifetime of hardship, that was something he never even saw until it was almost too late. It makes you wonder, right? What are the invisible burdens being carried for us?